showcases really here at Nellis all of our aircraft in the Air Force inventory and gives people a great look at what we do on a day-to-day basis.
It's awesome. It's a really cool way to show people, you know, how maneuverable we are with our air power.
Seeing the kids, seeing the next generation's pilots and crew chiefs that are going to take my job over when I'm all crotchety. That's why I do this.
More flight, cleared hot.
It's amazing. I mean, we're showing the world what their Air Force and their tax dollars can do for them.
Ta-da!
What the?
This seat's taken! Do it safely! Service members from around the world gathered for the 2015 Air Force Wounded Warrior Trials opening ceremony.
Light the cauldron.
Nellis Air Force Base is hosting the event, which allows wounded warriors to compete for a spot on the 2015 Air Force Wounded Warrior Team, which will represent the Air Force at adaptive sports events throughout the year. Marcia Gonzalez, the Deputy Chief of the AFPC Warrior and Survivor Care Division, says the event is about more than just competition, but about learning new skills.
A lot of them don't think that they can do these sports again, but we are able to adapt them to meet them at their injury.
Colonel Richard Boutwell, the 99th Air Base Wing Commander, says the Air Force Wounded Warrior program is a constant reminder that we will all face challenges in life.
Through resiliency and maintaining that warrior spirit allows us to maintain focus on what the goal in front of us is instead of the circumstances behind us that brought us here.
The event provides a way for wounded warriors to network and find new levels of support for themselves, their families, and their fellow competitors. Senior Airman Aaron Hauser, Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada. This world is full of heroes, but not every hero can tell you their story. Some are sworn to secrecy, having to keep their most dangerous adventures hidden in the shadows of time. One such hero is Colonel James A. Ruffer, a retired Air Force doctor with an interesting tale to tell. Colonel Ruffer is different from most veterans in that he's served not only in the Marine Corps, but in the Navy and the Air Force as well, with a total of 26 years in the service under his belt.
I left the Navy in 1985 to go into private practice, and after 6 months called the Air Force up and said, can I come on board? I served at Edwards Air Force Base, Panama, Desert Storm, the invasion of Panama, Desert Storm, and other places.
On December 20th, 1989, 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, popularly known as Delta Force, carried out a covert mission to free Kurt Muse, an American civilian living in Panama who, at the time, also worked as an undercover contact for the CIA. Muse was being held hostage in the Carcel Modelo, the infamous prison in which the former Panamanian dictator, General Manuel Noriega, kept his deadly menagerie of Panama's most wanted. The rescue plan, referred to as Operation Acid Gambit, took almost a year to prepare and execute, but to gather the information necessary to carry out the plan, Delta Force needed a man on the inside.
He was forced to allow one doctor to visit that hostage in his prison in Panama, and that was me. I told him I needed to see him every other day, so for 9 months I saw the prisoner. I worked with the United States Delta Force to help extract him. I gave them the information they needed. Meanwhile, I'm walking through blood and witnessing or practically witnessing torture, the disappearances of prisoners, the murders, and hearing firsthand information from those inside what's going on. I helped Delta Force then plan that mission, and during the invasion of Panama, they did successfully rescue him. That took 262 days of my life, over 110 missions.
During his time in the Modelo prison, Colonel Ruffer befriended several of the other inmates, who would communicate with him using various hand gestures and signs to convey the horrors they witnessed on a day-to-day basis.
So when I went in the prison and I saw what was happening in there and walked through blood, saw prisoners telling me that so many people were shot just the other day, that officers were killed or hung. These things were daily occurrences for me, guns to my head. It was a harrowing experience. Thankful to know that when I went home, my family and most Americans would not be subject to that dictatorship.
After the successful rescue of Kurt Muse, Colonel Ruffer's involvement in the larger mission were deemed classified, and remained so for nearly 24 years. Fast forward to Nellis Air Force Base, August 15, 2013, when Colonel Ruffer's experiences culminate in an award which would define his career. Although Colonel Ruffer is no stranger to being in the spotlight, nothing could truly prepare him for this memorable day.
Those were loving eyes. They were appreciative, gracious. They honored me and brought me to near tears. It was one of the most emotional moments in my life to stand there and have the Bronze Star for heroism pinned on me. I will never forget it.
In many ways, receiving the Bronze Star with Valor marks the end of an era for Colonel James Ruffer.
My wife and I go home, we live alone. I'll take this uniform off. I'll have the memories of all my years of service from 1966. But I'll always miss the uniform and the service. It'll be a little heartache every day of my life, knowing that I can't come back here and pin on that medal again and have that experience. It's once in a lifetime. It's over. It's over.
Whether it's in the Navy, the Marine Corps, or the Air Force, Colonel James Ruffer looks back on his time in all three branches of service with great respect and admiration. His heroic story, once hidden from the world, can now be shared and honored by future generations. Senior Airman Aaron Hauser, Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada.